Hello YouTube, we have the round one of the DN Rogue Tournament. Now for any of you that don't know what this is, hosting a little Rogue Tournament currently on our TCG competitive Facebook group. So basically everything is banned, no, nothing is banned except for the current meta decks. So you have no Shaddolls, no Klee, no Tellar, no Ritual Beast, no Burning Abyss. So this is the Rogue Tournament. Now, this is the first of hopefully a couple more matches I'll do. And we have here Duncan playing against Chad with Infernity versus, well, we don't actually know yet. Now Chad is piloting, well, he's just passed. He chose to go first and did nothing. So if Duncan plays this combo right, this is going to be game probably. Infernity can put out stupid damage if it has the combos and stuff, even after all the nerfs and during the ban list and stuff. And I find it interesting that he has actually managed to open that one of Archfiend. Oh, okay, no, he's not. He's gonna soul charge, so that is interesting because now he's gonna skip his battle phase. I don't know how much Chad is gonna punish him for this, but he's probably at least gonna sigh some kind of relief here to, you know, be kind of happy that at least he's gonna definitely live this turn regardless of what happens because of the soul charge. Now, so he special Ethereum and brought out Archfiend with the soul charge. He discarded it with the Infernity launcher. Most people don't actually know that this thing is supposed to discard Infernity cards as its first effect, but it also happens to do the broken effect, which is the mini soul charge. So with the special summon of the Archfiend, he got Necromancer, and now he's going to overlay into Lavalval Chain to detach Archfiend. I'm gonna say send the Stygian. Oh, okay, right. Yeah, that makes sense. He is playing Infernity Synchro. I have a feeling he's going to open with a pretty nuts board here, because this involves all kinds of 100 Eyes Doom Dragon combos. Okay, right, so I think that this field is actually going to end with triple break and a barrier. I don't play this deck often enough to know all these intricate combos, but this is going to be quite a sight. So he synchros Avenger and Necromancer into Herald. He launches back the Archfiend and the Necromancer, and this is going to get him his search for... Okay, he's going for the trap. I thought he was going to search Heiress at first, but it seems not. Necromancer is going to bring out Avenger. He's going to sync for 8. He's going to make 100 Eyes Doom Dragon. And yeah, okay, so 100 Eyes is now going to copy Necromancer's effect. 100 Eyes, what it does is it banishes level 6 or lower Dart monster from your graveyard and copies its effect. So this 100 Eyes is essentially a Necromancer now, and that's going to special Archfiend. So he's searching out a second break. Now that lets me know quite easily that this is most definitely the barrier, one of these two. So he's got double break and barrier for sure. And Chad is going to have to fight through a Herald, 2 breaks and barrier. Now, judging by his first play of pass, I can't see this going too well. He's setting 2 and a monster. I'm going to imagine that, yep, the break comes down. I would think that the best thing to do here would be to break the monster, break a back row, and then you have your Herald or your barrier for the back row. So he's breaking... Okay, right. I don't feel that there's any reason to chain the break. Like, you can just discard... You can just banish the launcher. And then, oh, okay. Right, so he had the Dandelion set. That's going to give him 2 tokens. Now, 2 tokens is quite a lot. because that means he isn't going to be able to OTK him next turn. Oh, he had Call of Haunted as well. Potential Call of Haunted on Dandelion would mean that he would definitely live with the defense position tokens. However, he does have Herald still up. 2 breaks are gone, so it's not looking too bad. It depends on what he does this turn, because those 2 tokens are going to be able to create a massive wall for Chad. Those are 2 monsters that he's not going to be able to push damage into. And the Infernity, you know, if it lasts longer than a turn, 2 turns, it could be well over, because, you know, those breaks and barriers ain't going to be recycled. Especially with 1 Archfiend, there's no chance for you to top deck anything worthwhile. So we see Instant Fusion for a level 4 target. Going to assume that he will potentially overlay it into 3 level 4 monsters for Amaterasu. Okay, so he's thinking on the Lavalval Chain Send. I think he probably wants to copy 100 Eyes Doom Dragon. Chad's asking if he knows what the back row is. And I think it's safe to assume that we know that that's the barrier. Otherwise, why would he search break and not your Solemn Judgment? So he sends Necromancer with Lavalval. Sorry. This is interesting because I think perhaps what I would have done would be Lavalval Chain, send Mirage, and then banish the Mirage, and then you could bring it back with Amaterasu. But hey, Duncan knows this deck a lot better than me, at least, because he's been playing Synchro since the inevitable Archfiend hit after Worlds. Now Lavalval Chain is gonna send probably, I don't know, I mean, okay, sending Thrasher because you don't want to draw that after comboing, otherwise it gets stuck in your hand. Now Necromancer is going to activate, aka 100 Eyes, and that's probably going to yeah, that will definitely search his third break, or not. He's saying no effect. So I think that's because Duncan's only playing 2 breaks. Now there's an interesting thing about Chad's deck, so I'm going to see if he does it this turn, but he is actually playing double Gores, so let's see if that drops. Yes, it does. He does. He has the Gores in his hand, but Herald is gonna negate. Our monster effect is activated. On Gore, yeah. Okay, so Herald is gonna just stop that Gores, and Chad's really gonna need. He's gonna need 2 good cards in his hand to come through for this, because he needs something to bait out the barrier, and then he needs something to follow up with the barrier. He sends Mathematician, and interesting, I can't think of anything that could be sent to really save him. Ah yes, of course, he can send the Felis. I think he's playing Felis. I believe so. I've got a deck list up somewhere. Let's rather focus on the duel just now. Yep, he has Felis. Now Duncan's gonna have to think long and hard if this is worth his final lifeline. Yep, he lets it go through. He's sinking for 7. And this is going to blow his barrier. And that's that. And GG. Okay, so yeah, as I said before, he needed 2 ways to get back in the game. He needed one thing to bait out the barrier, and then 1 thing to follow up with the barrier. Because Black Rose, okay, yeah, that's fine. That does what he needed to do, but it didn't work. So didn't have the follow up play. Chad not opening well at all. Probably quite a bad brick, I would assume. A little bit on the ropes there with the soul charge. The getting rid of Duncan's battle phase there because, you know, obviously you would think that going second with Infernity into a field of absolutely nothing, that he could potentially just kill him there and then. But I don't think he had enough monsters in his hand and he didn't have the right back row set up. He didn't draw the right spell, sorry, because I think his only spell there was Infernity Launcher. Yeah, he drew 2 traps, I think, must have been. Something like that, I don't know. But anyway, they're going to side up here. I was going to look at the side decks just now, but I'll probably leave it for now. So we're going to see Chad probably want to go first. Yep, he's going to want to go first. He wants to set up some kind of like defense to stop Infernity from comboing off in any shape or form. Now I know that Duncan's plan here is going to be to exit on in some shape or form, because that's usually what Exxon has to do, Infernity has to do going second. But it looks like Chad's opened really well here. I'm pretty sure 1-for-1 in Dandelion is, well, it's good. I think Dandelion's at 1, right? I'm not sure. I don't know plants. Is Dandelion at 1? I don't know. Now anyway, I don't know what he brings out. He brings out level 1, right? So I don't know, like Spore or something. Is that what plants do? I'm not sure. I saw his build. It's like, let me see. Is this it here? Yeah. So this is Chad's build. He's got just Chaos Dragon plant things, I guess, stuff. Yeah, it seems pretty cool. His level 1 targets are Spore, right? Okay, and I guess Veiler, Glow Up Bulb, Veiler, I don't even really obviously special Veiler, but it's there. There's a synchro option because Veiler is a tuner. Yep, so he brings out Spore. I guess this is where he can make Formula and draw 1. So having a look here, potentially thinking about what he could have sided into. He could have sided into Denkos, definitely Dark Holes, MSTs, going first, even potentially Eradicator. Yeah, I think Eradicator would be potentially good going second. MSTs going first. Sorry. Yeah, Eradicator going first would be better. MSTs are okay. Dark Holes definitely going second. I don't know about first, but yeah, Maxies also not too bad second, but I don't know. Right, oh, so we've got some combos happening here. So he made Formula Synchron, and then he drew 1, and then he's going to sync for 5. It's a Hyper Librarian, and I think at this point he's going to use Spore's effect. Oh, Bubble Effect. Okay, yeah, cool. Right, he's definitely got some really cool combos going here. Oh, that's nasty. He milled a Soul Charge. So things aren't going to get too crazy here. I think he can make another formula that's going to let him draw 2 cards. One from Hyper Librarian, one from Formula. This lets him sync on his opponent's turn, right? During your opponent's main phase, you can immediately have this card after this effect. So sync for someone. So I think he can just like black rose him at any point he wants, I think. Something like that. I believe that's how it works. So generating some pretty cool plan advantage here. And yeah, he's just passing turns, so I'm not sure how the plant matchup is against Infernity, but I don't know if this is good. I would assume he would have wanted to end with some kind of Quasar or 2. It would have been amazing to see him draw that Soul Charge that he milled off Glow Up Bulb just for the shenanigans that I know that plants can hit out with. So Duncan is gonna upstart, and usually if you upstart with Infernity, if you have it in your hand, that's usually a good sign, because sometimes you don't want to upstart even if you have it turn 1, because you risk drawing too many monsters. So not having a monster clog hand is actually really good. See Armageddon Knight come down. Not quite Dark Grepher. He didn't quite have the Dynetherium or the Thrasher to really make this go crazy. Sorry. He's looking at his extra deck. Now, I don't think he would want to exit on here, but I'm not sure about the ruling here. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Like when this card is synchronized, you can draw one card. During your opponent's main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolve synchro summon using this card. So I'm pretty sure that just means he can synchro summon at any point now. Like if he wants to, he could Black Rose him like right now on the set, or something like that. I think that's how it works. I'm not sure. And Chad saying before you end your main phase, he is going to Black Rose him. Yeah, that's exactly how it works. He's sinking for 7. I can't think of anything else. Yep, he's gonna Black Rose now. And he hits Barrier and Break and Armageddon Knight. Now, I'm gonna say that was definitely a misplay from Duncan's part because I don't know if he knew that he could synchro like that, but I can't see any reason as to why he was setting Barrier and Break and passing turn when he knew that there was a potential Black Rose inbound. It's safe to say that it's over now because he has no barrier. So even if he does manage to create some kind of field, it's not gonna. Oh, and Thunder King, that's GG. That is most definitely GG. He can't XYZ, he can't search. He would need Soul Charge. The only way I can see outing this Thunder King would be Soul Charge. Chat setting one as well. I'm gonna assume it's like MST or something, perhaps. Judging by his deck list, he doesn't play any traps, so he plays TT and a Vanities. Vanities Thunder King would most definitely be game. Econ's pretty cool with the tokens. I really like this Pram deck, it's cool. The Duncan's gonna set one, which I think is strange. I have a feeling he's drawn Heiress. Because setting is not good in Infernity. If you're setting monsters, you're not in a good position at all. If you're setting monsters in Infernity, you are 100% not doing good. You are not playing the deck the way it should be. So he's definitely opened up like too many monsters or something in his hand. Like that's the only reason I can see for setting. I'm gonna be interested to see if he uses spells. Oh no, he's gonna use a Call the Haunted. Maybe Hyper Librarian or something, or and then do some more synchro plays. So he brings back Hyper Librarian, and then sinks for 8. Blader maybe. Scrap Dragon. Okay, cool. I like that. That's cool. Librarian's gonna let him draw one off the set. Scrap Dragon synchro. So Scrap Dragon can pop Call and pop his set. And is that game? Set Necromancer is so bad. Nothing good. Spore, Synchro Summon. So that makes it level 3, 4, 7. So he sinks for 7. Oh, actually, yeah, he's popped Call the Haunted. So that means that Librarian should be dead now. He's going for Dark Strike Fire. Isn't this banned? During your main phase 1, you can tribute one monster, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the tribute the monster's level on the field times 200. Okay, whatever. Why is Hyper Librarian a dark monster? What? That doesn't even make sense. Why is that? I don't know. Dark Strike Fighter is gonna tribute one monster, inflict damage, so you can only use this effect once per turn. Okay, so this was banned because it had a loop or something, and I believe this is an errata to make it once per turn. 800, so 400. Okay, okay. Right, I see what's going on here. Yeah, that's he's gonna scoop. Right, that was interesting. Not the most spectacular display of Infernity combos, as you can imagine, with the set Necromancer. Thunder King, very good as well. Gets any sort of XYD / searching deck. Now, This is what I find really damn cool about playing Rogue, right? You don't know what the hell your opponent's playing. You don't have the slightest idea what they could show up with Madoge, they could show up with hands, they could show up with like trap tricks, they could show up with goddamn anything. You could play anything. Like it's crazy. So Duncan here in the chat is acknowledging his misplay. But to be fair, I don't think it would have done anything since his next play was like set Necromancer. Like it doesn't matter if you have those traps or not; those aren't going to help you at all. Duncan's done siding up. He's most definitely going to go first. Yep. So does he have a combo? Now, if he's opened any more than like 3 monsters, if he's opened like 3 monsters, that's usually good if one of them's Greffer. If he's opened like 4 monsters, it's like GG. So let's see what he does here. And he's thinking. The longer he thinks, the more I'm anticipated to say that he's going to do a really big combo. Because that means he's really thinking it out to see what kind of stuff he's... Okay, I take that back. What? Silly opening hand. Can't imagine what that would be. That was anticlimactic. That's the best way to describe it. It's like, what even happened there? He's just like looked at his hand, thought for a minute, like it was like 30 seconds or something, and then realized it doesn't, like, it couldn't do anything. So opening ARS in game 3 is 100% the most soul destroying and like heartbreaking things you can ever see in your hand. Like there is no, like, you don't ever want to see ARS in your hand. Never. You don't even want to, like, even if you have Greffer in your hand, doesn't matter, because you're not going to get ARS's effect to search Archfiend. If you have ARS in your hand, you're not going to be able to search Archfiend unless you send it and like hard draw Necromancer to special summon it in some shape or form. It's just too much. Now he's opened with Mind Control and a Lone Fire. I would have probably played the Mind Control as well. He's playing a Synchro deck. He's probably going to just like Synchro with it in some way. His card Essential Graveyard because card effect or being destroyed by battle, he can add an Archfiend. I don't know if he gets to add Archfiend if this is synchroed with, because that's not an effect, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, he's synchroing for level 3, makes Alucard. Okay, fair enough. Attacks for 1800. Now, you see, if that was a set Mirage, I'd be inclined to say that, you know, he's not in too much of a bad position. But ARS in the deck is really important. Like, you need to have ARS in your deck because you need to get to that Archfiend. You're not going to draw that Archfiend. You're not going to see that Archfiend in your opening hand. Like, I don't know, like 19 out of 20 games, you're not going to see Archfiend in your hand. Now, he's drawn for turn and he's hit the Armageddon Knight, and that's most likely going to send Stygian Dirge. That would be interesting to see if he actually has some kind of follow-up after that. If he doesn't, it's going to be quite dull. He sends the Archfiend. Okay. Now, that is one way to search it. So he's activating Launcher. Chad's going to have a think about that. If he wants to stop any kind of combo, he's most likely, he can't let that go off. Let's see, is it a cost? If there are no cards in your hand, you can send this card to the graveyard, select up to and special summon. It's a good question. Doesn't seem to have PSCT. If there are no cards in your hand, you can send this card. I can't tell if this has PSCT. I don't know if it's like an old card or something. Like I think Infernity is an old deck, so I'm not sure. When you draw this card, if you have no other cards, you can reveal this card. Special. So this seems to have PSCT. I don't know if Archfiend is newer or something, but let's take a look. Sending this card from the field of graveyard is a cost. Okay. Alright, so the discard of Launcher is an effect. Sending to the graveyard is a cost. So, Chad lets that go through. No response to the activation. Ugh. That is a horrible hand. He's drawn the worst two, like, I'm just gonna say this right now. If Duncan wins this, he 100% like deserves to like win this match, because those are the worst cards you can have in your hand at any point in the duel with Infernity, unless of course you search them out to do more combos. That is ridiculous. Like Mirage and ARS is like the worst ever. The thing is here, like Duncan is playing this extremely explosive deck. Like at any point things could just go crazy out of hand. Chad isn't doing too much to capitalize on the fact that he's pretty much bricked. Like he's opened really badly. Oh, Vanity's Emptiness. That doesn't get much worse for him at this point. It's safe to assume that he isn't even like playing MSTs. I don't think he would have put in MSTs whatsoever. And Alucard's just going to go ham on that back row. Ooh, Tyrant's Tummy Ache. That's quite funny. That's actually really good against Plant Synchro. Oh, that would have been hilarious to see. We are going to see a bit of a stalemate, at least for a turn or two, because, well, that Alucard ain't beating over that 2000 booty. On the other hand, Chad is playing a lot of spells, and he just needs to draw like an Econ, and he's like pretty much, you know, gonna go in. Duncan, however, there's nothing he can draw right now to get him back into this. Like, I think he would need to draw like Thrasher or something like. Oh, Soldier, that is painful. That is painful. Of course, he had to set it because he was going to use Necromancer's effect, so it's not really anything. I mean, that's what happens. Emptiness and the brick just putting in work. Okay, Summoner Monk. That's not gonna get over Alucard. I don't know what, like, thinking about Duncan's deck, like, I can't think what he would. I'm gonna try find it now on my Facebook. I'm pretty sure he sent me it. To see like what he could possibly draw. Okay. Ooh, double set Necromancer. We're walling up. Most definitely. Looking. Sorry, I'm just on my phone just now. I'm looking for his deck. See if I can find it. I think we've been speaking for a long time that I've just lost the deck completely. Okay, I don't know. It's somewhere here. Oh wait. Thoughts. I can't find it. Oh, okay. We saw an end phase MST on Launcher, and Emptiness is gone. I'm trying to figure out what happened here. Emptiness is gone. Break is chained to the Galaxy Cyclone, targeting the set. Launcher. Oh, sorry. What's it called? Break is going to target the back row. Oh wow. Chad drawing all the one-offs here. Now, does he have a follow-up? There's no reason that he would pop his own Emptiness unless he had a good follow-up play. And it looks like he does. Debris Dragon is extremely good. He's going to sink for 7 with the Dandelion. In terms of 7s, I'd don't know what you make against Infernity. Like, okay, Black Rose can never go wrong with nuking the field, I guess. 2 tokens. Do those tokens get destroyed? I'm not sure how the chain links work here. I guess not. That makes sense. Banishing a dart, summon a white dragon, or BLS potentially. I don't know. Duncan has absolutely nothing he can draw here, unless he plays 3 Necromancer, which I'm pretty sure he doesn't. Soul Charge got popped by Alucard. There's nothing. Like I'm legit serious. Like there was absolutely no monster in his deck or card that can win him this. You can foolish all you want. That's just deck thinning at this point. That was quite a shame. I was hoping the Infernity would go through. Good to see all those combos, but hey, you open too many brick cards. What can you do? I mean, like, don't come out. I'm just like, don't want to rule out the duel yet, but judging by his deck list from my memory, there's no top deck that could help right now at all. Like, nothing he top decks can work. Soul Charge would have been potentially helpful, but he said it. Archfiend could have been a good top deck, but it's at 1. What else? There has to be something that's better songs from the graveyards that you would run in for any. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Chad draws that glow up bulb, synchros it with the white dragon for a librarian. Probably going to see black dragon come down, and I think that would be game. I can't maths. Glow up bulb gets summoned. I think he's just showing off at this point. Why not? So he's going to make Formula Synchron, draw 2, and yeah, I can't see any return from this. Um, 3, 5, 6 cards in hand. Let's see, he can make a 6 or a 7 or like, can he make Quasar? I don't think he can make Quasar. I don't know. Maybe he could Quasar. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know how this deck works. I think he's making a 7. He's making Dark Strike Fire. That's definitely game. That's game. That's 5,000. Yeah, he's just showing off at this point. Like, it's really cool to see plants in action. And I wasn't a format I played in, but I mean, it's just nice to see. Just like all the different combos and draw power. It's pretty cool. And the early round knockout, and there we have the end of the round 1 match. So thank you for watching, everyone. Hopefully I'll have some for you tomorrow as well, and see you soon.